The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the XY Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. And I must apologize. I'm a little late with this episode this week, but my back was hurting over the weekend, and I was like, fuck that shit. That, for those of you who suffer back pain, and I don't suffer back pain, I don't have chronic back pain, but sometimes it lets me know, hey, I'm here. How you doing? You know, it haven't messed with me in about 3 years, but this time it was talking to me, so I was taking all kind of shit because I don't like pain. I was taking what is it? The arthritis, the Tylenol arthritis. I was had me some muscle relaxers and what else? Advil. I was taking all kind of shit because I don't like pain, So I couldn't do the show, but I said I was supposed to do it Monday. I was supposed to do it yesterday. Excuse me, but I still was not able to do it. I still wasn't feeling quite well. I'm still not 100%, but I'm feeling a lot better than I was. So, I said I'm gonna have to get this show out because I don't like to miss dates and shit. So here I am. So before Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna give it a show again Friday regular time. So I just didn't want to miss the show. So here I am. It's a little late. Better late than never. I didn't get any emails. I didn't get any tweets or nothing saying, how your back doing. I didn't get shit. I didn't, know how you doing. Where, Roosevelt, where are you? Boy, y'all do me wrong. I don't know. I did my birthday. I didn't. Y'all do me wrong, but I still love you. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna jump into these week's questions. This is from Tom. Tom is okay. Tom says, I'm 57, and I just had my first son. Damn. Am I too old to have kids? Well, you're a little late to ask me that. No. But, and I did a show on this like a month ago, something like that. You're not too old to have kids, Tom. First of all, it's nobody's business, but, keeping it real. The things that you're 57, so when your son gets 10, you're going to be 67. So the shit that you can do when you was, 27 and 37, you ain't going to be able to do that shit no more. So in that aspect, you probably won't be able to go out with Junior and play basketball or you know, tennis or some shit, something where there's physical. You might be able to. You might be in, really, 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 really good shape. But I doubt it. You'll be 67 years old when your son is 10. And, when he gets a teenager, you're going to be in your damn 70s. So there'll be a lot of things you can't do anymore physically with your son. But you still can offer him, father presence. You're still there. You still the father figure. So you still, he still can look up to you. You just can't do certain things physically. That's all. But you're not too old to have kids. It's just that now that you're older, you have to do it differently. That's all. You can't do the things you would have done with your son when you was in your 20s and your 30s. But you can still be a father. So you're not too old to be a father. You're just a little older now, and you're more seasoned. So some things you can't do anymore. That's all. But you're not too old. And I applaud you, too. You're 57, you still fucking, and you still viral, or whatever, depending on if you're European and shit. But you still, your sperm, your swimmer's still working. So that's good, man. I'm proud of you. See if you can get a daughter. Next one from Jenny. Jenny says, I'm 48. I haven't menopause yet, but I do want kids. What should I do? Well, getting a lot of baby boomer questions. Jenny, it sounds like you probably don't have a boyfriend, I guess. You're not married. I don't know. You didn't mention that. But if you're married, you want kids, there's a few options. You could adopt, always adopt. You can do the insemination and stuff like that, where they put nut in you and you get pregnant. So there's a few options. You can get pay a woman to carry a baby for you, but you still have your eggs, so you haven't menopause yet. So there's a few options. You can, get insemination, or you can adopt, or you can do it the natural way. I don't know if your husband's swimmers or your boyfriend. You didn't mention if you had a boyfriend, but if you're married, there's a few options you can do. If you're single, and there's still a few options, but it gets a little different. I guess you can still maybe adopt, but it'll just be more difficult, and it's expensive, when you're by yourself. So, but you can still adopt. You can do the artificial insemination again, and there's sperm banks, of course. And if you know a nice guy who you think would be a good donor, maybe he'll give you some free sperm. That's something I never understood. Why would women pay for nut? I never understood that. You have to know someone that's good enough, or, the motherfucker don't have to be Brad Pitt or Denzel or some shit. Just a reasonable guy, smart. That's all you need. But you women pay all this money for sperm banks. You want a guy who's 6'5", and you want a guy with brown eyes. You want a guy with blue eyes. You want a guy who has blonde hair and all this bullshit. It doesn't mean that your offspring is even going to turn out that way. But you guys pay a fortune for nut, something that you can get for free. I never understood that. But to answer your question, Jenny, if you're married and so forth, you can always adopt. Artificial insemination, you get nut put in you and stuff like that. Or you can do it the natural way. Or if you're not married, like I said, same thing. You can adopt, just more expensive since you're by yourself, and getting inseminated. Or you can find a really nice guy who you think would be a good donor and get his sperm for free. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't understand why women would be willing to pay for a stranger's nut, when you can get someone that you know for free. And, and getting his nut would be a lot more fun. Then you going to the sperm bank and they putting a vial in your ass and injecting the sperm, the old fashioned way. You just talk to your buddy, y'all supposed to be friends, and, give him some pussy and then you got your, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It seems like a lot more easier, a lot more cheaper. You take the dude, like, for me, you just take me out to dinner. Okay, you don't mind now. Take me out for some chicken wings. All right, let's get into this week's episode. This week's episode, why do soulmates have such lethal tongues? I repeat that. Why do soulmates have such lethal tongues? People who are supposed to be in such love, I love you, baby, such marital bliss, and when they get mad at one another, their tongues are very acidic, very mean to one another. Persons that are supposed to love one another. I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. But when they get a little angry or something that bothers them, then they say stuff that sometimes there may be no return. And I just thought that was interesting. I heard that from different people over the years, friends, relatives, stuff like that. I'm sure some of you have heard that, your friends get in an argument or your relatives get in an argument. Some of you heard your parents get in an argument and your dad and your mom say some very hurtful things to the other person. My parents, I never heard anything that was hurtful. I mean, they had arguments, I'm not going to lie, but they never said anything that was hurtful, at least not in front of me. I never heard it, but I know some of you have. Some of you heard your father call your mother certain things. Some of you heard your mother call your father certain things. And, it's really fucking with a lot of you head today. Like marriage is nothing, it's like my parents talk to each other like dogs. So marriage is not all that special. It's really not. People, sometimes married couples are very poor examples of what a marriage should be as far as showing a very loving relationship. That's what I think a marriage is. And if you're married and you love one another, how could you say something so hurtful to the other person? But it happens. It happens every day. It happens very often. Verbal abuse. That's happens more frequently. But even just every once in a while, someone gets mad and they say something that's very hurtful. That happens a lot. And how could that happen if you love this person? One example, like the husband is, I've seen it with my own eyes. The husband knew that his wife was suffering from a weight problem. She gained a little weight when they said I do. They were married for about 10 years and, she ate a few cookies and, things happen. Nothing wrong with that, but she was feeling, she wasn't obese. She wasn't, but she was a little thicker than when they got married, put it like that. And she didn't like it. He knows she didn't like it. And he would hone in on that when they got in an argument. He would say things to her that I feel that, he shouldn't have said. They didn't, they all had an argument for me and I heard him, you fat fucker. You need to move your fat ass. He would say things like that. And I'm like looking at him like, the fuck? why would he say that there? And she would be hurt and crying and stuff. And I'm like, man, how could he say that? Then he'll look at me and I'm like, man, that was, and I pulled him to the side, later, man, that was fucked up. You shouldn't have said that. That's your wife. And so I heard but the women do it too. It's not just the men. I've heard sometimes I had a friend that had a little problems in the bed, and his wife said something to him when she got mad at him. You limp noodle motherfucker. Or his dick may be a little small, you pencil dick fuck, shit like that. I mean, there's all kind of shit that I've heard from family, and mostly friends. You be over there and watching a game or something, or playing cards or something, and an argument busts out, and the words fly. And I hate being in a friend's house because that makes me uncomfortable. But I've been around many arguments, and I've heard a lot of hurtful words, and it's a bad example to me. And I'm like thinking that these people are supposed to love one another. How could they say such things? I mean, I heard all kind of shit. Give you some examples. Fuck you, you fat bitch. That's you say that to your wife. You call your wife a fat bitch. You're a fucking loser. Heard that a million times. You're so damn stupid. That happens. How many times have you heard that? I don't know why I married you. You're a fucking idiot. I hate you. I wish you would just die. I wish you would just die. Saying that is just hurtful to me, and I'm just saying it. Fuck you and fuck your parents for making you. That messed me up when I heard that. Fuck you and fuck your parents that made you. And sometimes those hurtful words can even become racial. I've known interracial couples. I know interracial couples where they've gotten in arguments and they said some things that were very hurtful, very disrespectful, and very mean to someone who he's supposed to love. Could you imagine if now I know white girls married to black guys. I know black guys married to white girls. I know Hispanics married to white. I know a white guy married to a Hispanic girl. I know a white guy married to a Jew person. So I know a lot of. I know a person that's married to a Chinese woman. So I mean, I know a lot of mixed couples, and I heard a lot of shit over the years, some hurtful shit, and it makes me realize why divorces are so high. Because if I heard some of this stuff, I don't know if I could make it, and quite frankly, it has put in a thought on me that I'm second guessing myself. Do I really want to get married? Do I really want to get hurt? Because it seems like the person that loves you know your weakness, and they say it to hurt you when you're arguing. It's one thing to argue. That's fine. I'm not saying every marriage could be, argueless. But why do you have to say hurtful words? Especially racial hurtful words. I've heard some shit over the years. Fuck you, you stupid ass cracker. Yeah, I heard that. You're a dumbass nigger. I heard that. These are people that love one another. I heard that. You fucking kike. Yeah. Heard that one too. Fuck you, you spick. bitch. Yeah. Get your ass in the kitchen and cook, you slanty-eyed motherfucker. I've heard all of this. It's one thing to say racial things, and just saying this shit, repeating it actually, really curls my spirit. Just saying this shit. And I can only imagine hearing it from the person that's supposed to love me. The person that, saying that they want to spend the rest of their lives with me, and saying some hurtful shit like that. And I've asked my friends, when they say that fucked up shit in front of me, I check them. I don't just, go Humpty Dory and shit. I check them. I said, why you said that dumb shit? Fuck it. I don't, that's what a real person would do. You check people when they saying some or doing some fucked up shit. Check their ass. I said, why would you say that dumb shit? And it'll always be the same shit, oh, man, I was so mad I just wanted to hurt her. Oh man, she gets me so angry. Oh, he makes me so mad, and I don't know, he just brings it out in me. What kind of shit is that? You getting so angry that you're willing to say hurtful, shit verbally, hurting the person that you're supposed to love, hurting them verbally and emotionally. You're that angry that you would hurt them in that way. And some of you stupid motherfuckers believe that, as long as it's okay, as long as you apologize, it's all right. I'll say I'm sorry, I'll make it up to her. Yeah, I call her a spick, but fuck it, it's all right. Yeah, I call him a nigger, but, I just fuck him tomorrow and he'll forget all about it. She won't even remember that I call her a kike. I don't care. I'll make it up to her. Some of you stupid motherfuckers actually believe that. And believe if you apologize, it'll all be okay. But sometimes it doesn't matter how many times you apologize, how many times you send flowers, how many times you take her out to dinner, how many times you say, I'm sorry. It's always in the back of their mind that he actually called me that. And, it's one thing to hear that racial shit on the outside from some person on the outside of the house. But when you're inside your house and you're hearing that shit from someone who's supposed to love you, that takes that shit to a whole nother level. And I'm going to tell you something. Now, me personally, I've never been verbally onslaughted. And that shit will never happen because I'm not the person that would ever take that shit. But even though I would never take it, if I had a white wife and she called me a fucking dumb nigger, which was be a asinine statement because I'm not dumb, but still, she utilized a racial statement and called me a dumbass fucking nigger. That is something that, it would make me think, do this person really loves me? And I might forgive her. I don't know. I've never been in love. They say love make you do crazy things. So I can't speak that far as to if I would forgive her. I'm thinking now with my head and my mentality, I probably would forgive her. I want to hope that I would, but I don't know if I could. I know I would never forget it. It would always be on the back of my mind. Like my wife actually called me a dumb nigger, a racial, word, a nasty word like that. And for my friends that have used those nasty words, who their loved one called them a kike, or called them a cracker, call them a spick. I never talked to them personally because, but And I don't know if they would even admit to me, but, have you really gotten over that? Have you gotten over him or her calling you those words? I don't, me personally, I guess it depends on what kind of person it is. But me personally, I don't think I would ever get over that. I would always kind of doubt her love for me. My wife, the one I love, the one that I'm supposed to be spending the rest of my life with, the one who took vows with me, the one who took my name. She called me a dumbass nigger. She was that angry with me. She wanted to hurt me that much. So I'm thinking, do she really love me? What else would she do to hurt me? If she wanted to hurt me with words that much, what else is she willing to do to hurt me if she gets so angry? And vice versa. What else is he willing to do? If it's a wife, what else is he willing to do? If he called me a fat bitch or a stupid bitch, fat hoe, or call me a fat cracker, whatever. He used some hurtful ass words. If he that angry with me, what else would he do? So my thing is this. How is it that people who say they love one another and they want to spend the rest of their lives with this person and they can't live without them? And it's all of that bullshit. Because there's a lot of you motherfuckers out there who do this very thing. It happens more often than you would think. And some of you stupid motherfuckers don't only do it to your loved ones, your husband and your wife. Some of you even talk to your parents like that. Some of you talk to your parents. Now that's something I wouldn't tolerate. I'm sorry. You're not going to talk to your parents like that in front of me like that. Fuck that. So I'm letting you know. But some of you, call your mom, you stupid bitch. I hate you, you dumb bitch. Very hurtful to your mother. Now, I don't know. Maybe something your mom did when you was little. Some of you have some fucked up relationships that never healed. But I think that, if that's your parents, there's some things that you should never do. You shouldn't say hurtful things to your parents. You shouldn't say hurtful things to the people that you love. The people that you took vows with. I do. I love this person. I love you through sick and health. To rich or poor. Whatever your vows are. Some of you make your own vows and shit. You memorize these beautiful vows at your wedding. They're so beautiful. Oh, her vows are so beautiful. Did you hear them? Oh my God. All these beautiful words. A lot of times weddings and shit, that's nothing but show. It's the theater of it. But a lot of you motherfuckers who get married don't understand what marriage is. When you love someone, you're not supposed to say things that hurt them. You're not supposed to say things that they can't come back from. That's the person you love. That's the person you supposed to want to be with for the rest of your life. Why would you hurt them? You're supposed to love them. That's what your vows say, right? And a lot of you motherfuckers, my ring said, look at my ring. And that's what I mean. A lot of you are into the show, the whole theatrics of the shit. The wedding, the ring, the dress. But, it's a lot of people out there who just went to the courthouse and they got just as much love as you do. It's not about the theatrics. It's about what it means. And a lot of you folks don't realize what it means. When you get married, you're not supposed to say hurtful things to the person you're supposed to love. I think in my theory, one time or another, or you keep saying hurtful things, eventually that person won't be able to come back. Yeah, they'll forgive you. You know, they'll fuck you again. But they will never forget that you called them a racial slur because you got mad, you know, or you called them something that was just totally unnecessary, something that was just mean and hurtful. They'll never forget that, especially if it's racial. Especially if it's racial, you know. It's one thing you have to deal with that shit on the outside, but you coming inside your house and you being called a racial slur by your wife or your husband. That's like, damn. You? I thought you were on my side. I thought I can count on you. That's what I'll be thinking. You know, did she really love me? Damn, she would call me that? It would cause me to reevaluate our marriage. Maybe I don't have it as good as I thought I did. Maybe she doesn't love me like I love her. And thus, that's when the problems start. Start doubting everything. So, that's all I'm saying, folks. If you're married, and you're married to someone, and you're supposed to love them, they're supposed to be your soulmate, you're going to be with them for the rest of your life, don't say hurtful things. I'm not saying don't argue. I'm not saying that. That's crazy. That would be an asinine statement. Don't argue. You're going to argue. But you don't have to say hurtful things that, you know, he or she may not come back from. It's supposed to be the person that you love. Why would you want to hurt them so bad and so low that, you know, you might say something that they can't come back from? But never forget, it will always hurt them that you said that. Why would you want that to the person that you're supposed to love? So think about that the next time you're in an argument. Think about that the next time you want to say something to the person that you love. Think about that the next time how you would think that it would make them feel for the rest of your lives. Think about how you would feel. Anyway, just something to think about. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Be sure to check the X and Y show out. I'm on pretty much everything. I'm on Podbreed. Check that out. My show's on there. And there's a lot of other great indie pods on there as well. Comedy shows, true crime, journals, relationships, everything. So check the Podbreed network out. Very good up-and-coming network with a lot of good indie shows on it. I'm on iHeart, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Castbox, Google, Apple. So I'm on pretty much all of the major platforms. Check me out, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram. Be sure to subscribe as well. You can find everything, my platforms and my social media at www.thexyshow.com. www.thexyshow.com. Be sure to find everything there. Leave some comments. Let me know how much you love me, and I will definitely appreciate that as well. Might read your comments online. So be sure to say hello. I'm still putting together the store. I'm going to try to get some stuff out before Christmas. I got some nice Christmas designs for t-shirts, so check it out. So without further ado, I will see you again this Friday in a couple of days or so. So I want you all to have a very nice Thanksgiving. And I want you always to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.